Have you ever wondered why you feel weaker despite eating what you thought were healthy meals? Picture this. You're making what seems like the perfect breakfast, a beautiful spinach omelette with fresh eggs from the market. You feel good about your choice, thinking you're doing everything right for your health. But what if I told you that this seemingly nutritious combination might actually be working against your muscle strength? What if the very vegetables you've been adding to your eggs, the ones you thought were helping you stay strong, are actually preventing your body from using the protein it desperately needs? My name is Dr. William Lai, and after 30 years of helping patients, over 60, maintain their strength and vitality, I've discovered something that might surprise you. There are 3 common vegetables that, when combined with eggs, can reduce your body's ability to absorb crucial muscle-building nutrients by up to 87%. Today, I'm going to share with you exactly which vegetables these are, why this happens, and most importantly, what you can do about it to protect your muscle strength as you age. By the end of this video, you'll understand why certain food combinations can sabotage your muscle health after 60. You'll discover the 3 specific vegetables you should never eat raw with your eggs. Learn simple cooking techniques that can transform potentially harmful combinations into muscles supporting meals, and walk away with a practical daily eating strategy that ensures every bite works toward keeping you strong, independent, and energetic. Let me start by sharing something that might surprise you. When I first began practicing medicine 3 decades ago, I noticed a troubling pattern among my patients over 60. Many of them were eating what appeared to be perfectly healthy diets. Lots of vegetables, lean proteins like eggs, whole grains, yet they continued to lose muscle mass and strength. They would come to me frustrated, saying things like, "Dr. Reed, I'm eating better than I ever have. So why do I feel weaker?" The answer lies in something most people don't realize happens as we age. After 60, your body undergoes significant changes in how it processes and uses the food you eat. Think of your digestive system like a well-oiled machine that's been running for decades. Over time, some parts don't work quite as efficiently as they once did. Here's what's really happening inside your body. Your stomach produces about 40% less of a crucial enzyme called pepsin, which is responsible for breaking down the proteins in your eggs. Your pancreas, which releases enzymes to help digest food, also becomes less active, producing 40 to 45% fewer digestive enzymes than it did when you were younger. This means that even when you eat the same amount of protein you've always eaten, your body can only use about 45% of it compared to 51% when you were younger. But here's where it gets even more concerning. Your muscles themselves become what we call resistant to protein. While a 30-year-old might need only 20 grams of protein at a meal to trigger muscle building and maintenance, someone over 60 needs between 25 and 30 g of protein to achieve the same result. It's like your muscles have become pickier eaters. They need more high-quality protein delivered in the right way to do their job of staying strong. Now, you might be thinking, well, Dr. Reed, I'll just eat more protein then. And that's exactly the right instinct. But here's where those 3 vegetables I mentioned earlier become a real problem. When certain vegetables are combined with eggs, they can actually prevent your body from absorbing the protein and essential minerals you need, making an already challenging situation even more difficult. The first vegetable I need to warn you about is spinach. Now, I know what you're thinking. Spinach is supposed to be one of the healthiest foods on the planet, right? And you're absolutely correct that spinach is incredibly nutritious. The problem isn't with spinach itself, but with what happens when you eat it with eggs. Spinach contains very high levels of natural compounds called oxalates. These oxalates act like tiny molecular magnets that grab onto the minerals in your eggs, particularly calcium, iron, and zinc, and bind them up so tightly that your body can't use them. When you eat a spinach omelette, those oxalates can bind up to 87% of these crucial minerals, essentially stealing them away before your muscles can benefit from them. To put this in perspective, half a cup of cooked spinach contains about 755 mg of oxalates. That's an enormous amount. When these oxalates meet the minerals in your eggs, they form what scientists call insoluble complexes. Think of it like cement hardening. Once these complexes form in your digestive system, they pass right through your body without being absorbed. The second vegetable that can interfere with your eggs is Swiss chard. Like spinach, Swiss chard is packed with oxalates, though not quite as much as spinach. What makes Swiss chard particularly concerning is that many people think of it as a gentler alternative to spinach, so they might eat larger portions of it. The oxalates in Swiss chard work exactly the same way as those in spinach, binding up the minerals from your eggs and making them unavailable to your muscles. The third vegetable I need to mention is beet greens. These are the leafy tops of beets. And while they're often discarded, many health-conscious people have started eating them because they're rich in vitamins. However, beet greens contain about 152 mg of oxalates per cup, making them another vegetable that can significantly interfere with the mineral absorption from your eggs. I want to be very clear about something important. I'm not telling you to never eat these vegetables. They're all incredibly nutritious and offer many health benefits. The issue is specifically when you eat them raw or lightly cooked in combination with eggs. The timing and preparation make all the difference. And I'll show you exactly how to handle this in just a few minutes. Now that I've shared the concerning news, let me give you some wonderful news. There are many vegetables that not only avoid interfering with your eggs, but actually enhance their nutritional value. These are the vegetables I encourage all my patients over 60 to focus on. Bell peppers are one of my absolute favorites to recommend. They're incredibly low in oxalates. We're talking about just 2 milligrams per cup compared to spinach 755 milligrams. But beyond being low in troublesome compounds, bell peppers are rich in vitamin C, which actually helps your body absorb iron from eggs more effectively. When you eat bell peppers with eggs, you can increase iron absorption by 2 to 4 times compared to eating eggs alone. Broccoli is another excellent choice. It contains only about 2 mg of oxalates per cup, making it safe to combine with eggs without worrying about mineral binding. Broccoli is also rich in folate and vitamin K, nutrients that work synergistically with the B vitamins in eggs to support overall health and energy production. Cauliflower, zucchini, and mushrooms are other vegetables that play very nicely with eggs. They're all low in oxalates and don't contain significant amounts of compounds that interfere with protein digestion. Mushrooms in particular contain natural compounds that may actually help enhance protein utilization, making them an excellent addition to egg dishes. Tomatoes deserve special mention because they contain lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that becomes more available when combined with the healthy fats in egg yolks. This is a perfect example of how the right food combinations can create nutritional synergies that benefit your health in multiple ways. Here's something really interesting about egg yolks that many people don't realize. The yolk contains nutrients that actually help your body utilize the protein in the egg white more effectively. Recent studies have shown that people who eat whole eggs have 40% greater muscle protein synthesis compared to those who eat only egg whites. This is particularly important for people over 60 who need every advantage they can get in terms of muscle building and maintenance. When you combine whole eggs with the right vegetables, you're creating meals that not only taste great, but actively support your muscle health in ways that isolated nutrients simply can't match. Here's where I have some really empowering news for you. Even if you love spinach, Swiss chard, or beet greens, you don't have to give them up entirely. The key is in how you prepare them. Simple cooking techniques can dramatically reduce the compounds that interfere with nutrient absorption. When you boil spinach for just 3 minutes, you can reduce its oxalate content from 755 mg down to as low as 100 mg. That's an 87% reduction. The oxalates literally leach out into the cooking water, which you then discard. It's like removing the troublemaker from the kitchen so the rest of the meal can be prepared properly. Steaming is another excellent option. While it doesn't remove quite as many oxalates as boiling, steaming can reduce anti-nutrient levels by 30 to 60% while preserving most of the vitamins and minerals that make these vegetables valuable in the first place. Even light sautéing for 2 to 3 minutes can cut oxalate content in half. The cooking method you choose for your eggs matters significantly too, especially as we age. Hard-boiled eggs provide the highest protein digestibility at 91%, with excellent protein breakdown even when our digestive systems aren't working at peak efficiency. Poached eggs perform similarly well. These cooking methods seem to create protein structures that are easier for older digestive systems to handle. Scrambled eggs, while still nutritious and certainly better than no eggs at all, show about a 37% reduction in protein digestibility for older adults compared to hard-boiled eggs. This doesn't mean you should never eat scrambled eggs, but if you're trying to maximize your protein absorption, hard-boiled or poached eggs give you the best return on your nutritional investment. One cooking approach I particularly recommend to my patients is what I call staged cooking. You start by lightly steaming or sautéing any high oxalate vegetables you want to include in your meal. This reduces their anti-nutrient content. Then you add your eggs, which can be pre-cooked using the optimal methods I mentioned, or you can scramble them with the pre-cooked vegetables. This way, you get the nutritional benefits of a variety of vegetables without significantly compromising the absorption of nutrients from your eggs. Let me walk you through what an ideal day of eating might look like when you're focused on supporting your muscle health after 60. Remember, the goal is to get 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein at each meal, with eggs being an excellent foundation for achieving this target. For breakfast, you could start with a 3-egg omelette. 3 whole eggs provide about 18 g of protein, so you're already well on your way to that 25 to 30 g target. Fill your omelette with bell peppers, mushrooms, and maybe some cheese to add both flavor and additional protein. The bell peppers will actually help you absorb iron from the eggs more effectively, and the mushrooms provide compounds that support protein utilization. If you love spinach and want to include it in your breakfast, here's how to do it safely. Lightly steam a cup of spinach in a separate pan for about 3 minutes. This reduces the oxalate content significantly. Then you can add the steamed spinach to your omelette or serve it as a side dish. You get the nutritional benefits of spinach without the interference with your egg absorption. For lunch, you might have a large salad with 2 hard-boiled eggs, some grilled chicken or salmon, and plenty of low oxalate vegetables like lettuce, cucumbers, bell peppers, and tomatoes. The combination of eggs and another protein source easily gets you to that 25 to 30 g target. And the vegetables provide fiber, vitamins, and minerals without interfering with protein absorption. Dinner could feature fish or lean meat as your primary protein source, with steamed broccoli and cauliflower as your vegetables. If you want to include some higher oxalate vegetables like Swiss chard, prepare them separately using the cooking methods I described and enjoy them as a side dish rather than mixing them directly with your protein sources. One strategy that many of my patients find helpful is what I call protein insurance. If you're not sure whether you're hitting that 25 to 30 gram target at each meal, you can add a hard boiled egg to salads, soups, or vegetable dishes. It's an easy way to boost the protein content of any meal without much additional preparation. Timing your meals is less critical than ensuring you consistently meet your protein targets. Some people do better with 3 substantial meals, while others prefer smaller, more frequent meals. The key is finding a pattern that allows you to consistently consume adequate protein throughout the day. Let me share some practical strategies that can make eating for muscle health much easier and more sustainable. One of the biggest barriers I see with my patients is the feeling that eating properly requires too much time and effort. The truth is, with a little planning, you can set yourself up for success with just a couple of hours of preparation each week. Start by batch cooking eggs. Every Sunday, hard boil a dozen eggs. This gives you ready-to-eat protein that you can add to any meal throughout the week. Hard-boiled eggs keep well in the refrigerator for up to a week. and they're incredibly versatile. You can slice them onto salads, chop them into egg salad, or just eat them as a quick snack. Similarly, you can steam large batches of vegetables and store them in portion-sized containers, steamed broccoli, cauliflower, bell peppers, and zucchini all at once. Then store them in your refrigerator. When it's time to eat, you can quickly reheat these vegetables and combine them with your eggs and other proteins. If you enjoy vegetables that are higher in oxalates, like spinach or Swiss chard, you can prepare them properly in batches. 2. Steam or lightly boil these vegetables, drain them well, and store them in containers. This way, you've already removed most of the problematic compounds, and you can add these vegetables to meals throughout the week without worrying about nutrient interference. Here's a time-saving approach that many of my patients love. Prepare what I call protein foundation meals. On the weekend, make several different egg-based dishes. Maybe a vegetable frittata with low oxalate vegetables, hard boiled eggs with steamed vegetables, or mini egg muffins with bell peppers and mushrooms. Portion these out for the week, and you have grab and go meals that support your muscle health. For those times when you want to enjoy higher oxalate vegetables, remember the principle of separation. Instead of mixing spinach directly into your eggs, have your eggs as your protein course and enjoy a small portion of properly prepared spinach as a side dish. This way, you're not eliminating nutritious vegetables from your diet, but you're not letting them interfere with your protein absorption either. While we've focused primarily on eggs and vegetables today, I want to make sure you understand that maintaining muscle health after 60 involves more than just optimizing single meals. It's about creating an overall pattern of eating that consistently supports your body's changing needs. Protein distribution throughout the day matters significantly. Rather than having a light breakfast, moderate lunch, and large dinner, try to spread your protein more evenly across all 3 meals. This gives your muscles a steady supply of amino acids throughout the day, which is particularly important as we age and our bodies become less efficient at storing and utilizing these nutrients. Hydration plays a crucial role that many people overlook. As we age, our sense of thirst becomes less reliable, and many people walk around in a state of mild dehydration without realizing it. Proper hydration is essential for protein synthesis and overall muscle function. Aim for about 8 glasses of water per day. And remember that foods with high water content, like many vegetables, contribute to your daily fluid intake. Physical activity, particularly resistance exercise, works synergistically with proper nutrition to maintain muscle mass. You don't need to become a bodybuilder, but incorporating some form of strength training. Even simple body weight exercises or resistance bands can dramatically improve how well your body uses the protein you're consuming. Sleep quality affects muscle health more than most people realize. During deep sleep, your body repairs and builds muscle tissue. Poor sleep can interfere with protein synthesis and muscle recovery, potentially undermining even the best nutritional efforts. The wonderful thing about focusing on muscle health is that the strategies that support your muscles generally support your overall health as well. Eating adequate protein, choosing nutrient-dense foods, staying hydrated, exercising regularly, and getting good sleep are all foundational elements of healthy aging. Over the years, I've heard many concerns from patients about changing their eating habits, especially when it involves foods they've enjoyed for decades. Let me address some of the most common questions I receive. Many people worry that avoiding certain vegetable and egg combinations means they'll miss out on important nutrients. The truth is, you're not avoiding any vegetables entirely. You're simply preparing them in ways that maximize your body's ability to use their nutrition. When you steam spinach before adding it to meals, you actually make many of its nutrients more available while reducing the compounds that interfere with protein absorption. Some patients express concern about the time and effort required to prepare foods properly. I understand this concern, especially for those who may be dealing with mobility issues or limited energy. The batch cooking strategies I mentioned can help significantly. Also remember that many vegetables are naturally low in problematic compounds and don't require any special preparation. Bell peppers, broccoli, cauliflower, and zucchini can all be eaten raw or lightly cooked without any concerns about nutrient interference. Another common question involves eating out at restaurants. When you're dining out, you can still make muscle-friendly choices. Order egg dishes with vegetables like bell peppers, mushrooms, or tomatoes. If you want spinach, ask if it can be cooked rather than raw. Many restaurants are happy to accommodate such requests, especially when you explain it's for health reasons. Cost is sometimes a concern, particularly for those on fixed incomes. Eggs are actually one of the most economical sources of high-quality protein available. Even organic free-range eggs typically cost less per gram of protein than most other animal proteins. Vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and bell peppers are often reasonably priced, especially when bought in season or frozen. Some people worry about cholesterol in eggs, but current nutritional science has largely moved away from restrictions on dietary cholesterol for most people. The American Heart Association and other major health organizations now recognize that dietary cholesterol has much less impact on blood cholesterol than previously thought. For most people, the muscle health benefits of eating whole eggs far outweigh any potential concerns about cholesterol. As you implement these nutritional strategies, you'll want to know whether they're making a difference. The good news is that improvements in muscle health often show up in ways you can easily notice in your daily life. One of the first things many of my patients report is improved energy levels throughout the day. When your body is efficiently absorbing and using protein and minerals, you often feel more steady energy rather than the ups and downs that can come with poor nutrient absorption. You might notice that physical activities feel a bit easier. Maybe climbing stairs doesn't leave you as winded, or you find you can carry groceries or do household tasks with less fatigue. These improvements often happen gradually over several weeks, so they might be subtle at first. Sleep quality sometimes improves when your body is getting the nutrients it needs for proper muscle recovery and repair. Many people find they sleep more soundly and wake up feeling more refreshed. Your appetite might regulate itself better. When your body is efficiently using the nutrients you provide, you're less likely to experience the cravings that can come from nutrient deficiency.